Hey guys, we're going to do an orientation today on the open range product. This is by Highland. The point of these videos is so that you learn how things work. It's not a sales video. We want customers to be able to do an orientation and have a video they can look back on and maybe refresh their memory. Also, those customers who can't come for orientations, this video is for you. And for customers who are looking to try to figure out what kind of maintenance or how to operate an open range product. The problem with these videos, they're going to be long, they're going to be boring. I understand if you want to clip ahead and skip through some stuff, we understand that. The other problem with these videos is they often make changes with trailers. So every 6 months or 3 months they change this, they change that. So this video will be accurate at the time of viewing, and then things may change after that a little bit. So just keep that in mind. We hope you guys like it, we hope you find them beneficial. Let's start on the outside of this thing. Right on, guys. We'll start here on the outside, right at the front. First thing I always have to talk about is the hookup. So we have a 2 5/16 ball here that fits. That's for all the open ranges, the small ones, the big ones, whatever. Have a 2 5/16 ball. That's going to come up in underneath, and then you're going to take this coupler and lock it into place. When you've locked it into place, you put a pin in. Okay. First thing. Second thing is chains. Oh, Josh. Okay, so the chains have to crisscross underneath the hitch and hook onto the truck or the vehicle. Okay, they have to crisscross. Then we have our breakaway cable. That's this little guy here. This has to hook up to a separate link on the truck. And this here, if the truck ever comes, or the trailer ever comes off the truck or vehicle, this is going to pull a pin out and lock the brakes up so the trailer doesn't follow you down the road. That's important. That also means you always have to have a battery on board when you're traveling. So that's the third thing. And the fourth thing is our lights. So these are going to plug into the back of the trailer. This is a 7-way connector. 7-way connectors work with a brake controller. All these open ranges have brakes on them, so you have to have a brake controller on your vehicle. And that'll plug in. So 4 things: lights, pin, chains, and the breakaway cable right down through there. Cool. Right behind there we have a power front jack. Not every open range is going to have a power front jack. The smaller ones have a manual jack, so you crank it up and down nice and easy. This has a power one, up and down. That's simple. Through the top here there's a spot. You can pull this plug out and crank up or down your jack if you ever run out of battery power or whatever. We have a black ABS cover on here. Underneath that cover is 2 30-pound propane tanks. They're going to come full from Layzee Acres. Whichever tank this switch is pointing at is the tank it's drawing off of. When this tank goes empty, that line there is going to go red, just like it is right now. Basically, that tank will go empty, that line will go red, and it will automatically start drawing off of this tank without you touching anything. But you're going to come around here, see that this tank's empty, flip this over. This is going to turn clear again. Then you can take this tank off and get it filled and bring it back. When this tank goes empty, this will turn red. It'll automatically start drawing off of this tank. Just back and forth like that. You have to get these tanks revalved every 10 years. That's a long ways away. All right. In behind here, you're going to have a battery and a box. So the batteries can be hooked up. You have a black wire and a red wire. Red wire is positive, black wire is negative. When you're not using the trailer, let's say it's just sitting in storage, not being used, you're going to take off your negative lead because your radio, your propane detector inside are going to slowly draw down your battery. So that's why you take the negative lead off. For the winter, you bring the battery right inside the house. Don't store it on a concrete floor. If you leave it out here for the winter, your battery's dinked. It's going to freeze and it's not going to work for you. Okay. Come down this side here. We have our pass-through storage. Not really much going on in the storage. There's just a light there. This is a 30 amp cord. Okay. This is going to plug into the side of the trailer. You're going to see that at the back. And this is 30 feet long. Yes, 30 feet long. 30 amps means you can run the AC. Okay. However, if you adapt it down to 15 amps, like with one of these little spigot adapters, you cannot use your AC on 15 amps. So let's say you're plugged into the house, just keeping the battery charged, fridge cold, while you're loading it up. You won't be able to use the AC. You have to be on full 30 amps to run the AC. Sometimes though, you go to sites, they don't have 30 amps. You get one of these adapters, like $8-9, and you're gonna adapt it down to 30 amps. This does not come with the trailer, so you gotta buy. Okay. 4 stabilizer jacks. They're manual on all these open ranges. They are stabilizer jacks. They are not leveling jacks, so you can't pick up a corner or anything like that. They're just for stabilizing. So you have to level the trailer first. The way you level the trailer first, you back it onto the site. Let's say you're low on this side, right? You're gonna pull a head off the site, put a piece of 2x6 down, and then drive up on that piece of 2x6, leveling it side to side. Once it's level side to side, you get the truck out of the way, the vehicle out of the way, and you're gonna level it front to back with your front jack. Once it's level side to side and front to back, then you put your stabilizers down. And then you just bring them down until they're snug and then one full crank and they're nice and tight. You can always get a 3/4 inch socket and bring those down to drill as well. If you're lazy like me. Fridge vent, don't touch those, leave them alone. Here's your 30 amp plug-in. We talked about this, so your cord will plug into here. I just got a little cheater cord for now. There's a blue light there letting you know you have hydro. Why that's important is sometimes you go to a park and the breaker's kicked on the post or something's not working. But that blue light won't be lit up if you don't have hydro. So if that blue light's not on, that means you don't have hydro going into the trailer. Down below here we have our sewer. Okay, it's tucked up nice and tight there. Hard to show, but you have 3 gate valves on this model. Sometimes you'll have 2, sometimes you'll have 3. You'll always have 1 black water, which is labeled right here, has a black handle, and you'll always have 1 gray water. Sometimes you'll have 2 gray waters. We have 2 gray waters on this one. Okay, so if you have sewer at the site, let's say you're running it right here into the ground, you can leave your gray waters open, let them run out as they build up, but you have to leave your black water closed. If you leave your black water open, the liquids are going to run out of the tank and the solids are going to build up on the bottom. Okay, that's a bad thing. Eventually you'll build up right to the toilet. It's going to stop working and plug up. So leave your black water closed. When the weekend's over, you're done camping or the tank is full, you're going to come back here, close your gray waters and open up your black, and the black is going to flush out all at once. Make sure you close your gray though when you do that, so only 1 set of valves open at once. If you don't have sewer at the site, you are going to pull up to your dump station near home or as you leave the campground. You're going to pull your black water first, let that run out, and then you're going to pull your gray water after. Okay, so nice and simple there. Don't have the valves open at once, all of them open at once, and don't leave your black water open even if you have sewer. Here's our docking station. So you have city water connection right here. Okay, so that's where you hook up water. If you have water at the site, you just hook it up right into there. Okay, and then you have to have this valve, this blue valve, down, pointing towards city. It's written right there. Okay, so then whatever water you have on, whatever water pressure you have on, is water pressure on the tap. So you should have a water pressure regulator regulating that down below 60 psi. Sometimes you go to a park and they have like 120 pounds of pressure. You're going to blow a line and blow a tap. Then if you want to fill your tank from here, you can do that. You just turn this valve here to tank fill, hook up to here, and that's going to fill your freshwater tank for you. Pretty straightforward. That's if you don't have water at the site, you're going to fill up before you leave home or as you enter the campground, and that's going to fill your freshwater. Then we have an outside shower here. Okay, that's what this guy's for. Basically, there's a blue slinky-like hose that fits into here like an air fitting. Just fits in, and you have hot and cold. The biggest problem with outside showers is people forget to winterize it. So don't forget to winterize it. On the topic of winterizing, just pay someone to do it. I am going to do a video showing you how to do it, but for your sake, I would just winterize it. I would just pay someone to winterize it for you. Then you have satellite cable in through here. So if you have satellite or cable at the site, you plug it in there. It's going to come on your TV. We'll talk about that inside. Now, we also have a black tank flush. It's labeled here. It says tank flush. It's referring to that one right there. So that is going back to the black water sewer. When you're draining your black water, you have the valve open. You can hook up a hose right into here on the side of the trailer, and it's going to spray down the inside of your black water tank for you. The key is with that, you have to have your black water valve open. If you don't have it open, it's going to build up pressure. It's going to be a problem. You do not want to make that mistake. It's been made before. Don't make that mistake. Have your black water open when you hook up your black water flush kit. Okay, and that's just going to clean out your tank for you. Spare tire, full size, not a big deal. Right down here, we have a gas fitting. That's just for like an RVQ or low pressure barbecue. Acts just like an air fitting. So you have to pull the sleeve back, push the hose in, release it, and then turn the valve on. Okay. The valve, the sleeve here does not operate with the valve on. You have to have it off, and then you can move your sleeve. Okay. keep that cap in for travel. All right, so we have our tires down here on the side. They're 14-inch rims on these. Some of the bigger open ranges will have 15-inch tires. The 15-inch tires keep at 65 psi. The 14-inch tires keep at 50 psi. They're nitro fill. You can top them up with air if you need to. If you want, you can go to Canadian Tire and top them with nitrogen. The lug nuts are steel on the steel rims, like this one right here, are at 100 foot-pounds. So you should, when you get the trailer home for the first time, you should torque those down to 100 foot-pounds. You have bearing buddies here, so you can pull a black rubber cap out, and there's a grease nipple in behind there, and you can grease your bearings. At 6,000 miles, you put a shot of grease in. At 12,000 miles, you have someone repack your bearings. Okay, so that's the schedule on that. 6,000 you grease, 12,000 you repack. Furnace vent, just don't touch this at all. Okay. Outside receptacle. This is attached to your GFI that's in the bedroom, or sorry, in the bathroom there. So if this isn't working, that's because your GFI is kicked. Now, remember we said that we had the freshwater fill there at the back of your docking station? If you are at a site or you're going to fill up your freshwater and the hose does not have an end on it, it doesn't have a thread, just like an open hose, you can stick that in here. And fill your freshwater tank from here as well. If you have the end on the hose, you can fill through the docking station. If it doesn't have an end, you can fill it right there. Alright. Here is your water heater. It's a gas 6-gallon water heater. You don't touch this unless you're winterizing. Like I said on the winterizing topic, probably best just to pay someone to do it. But if you're doing it yourself, you have to pull the plug out of the water heater here, and that is just in this guy, right in through there. Okay? Otherwise, you don't touch it. You don't touch this valve. You don't touch the gas. Just leave it alone. All right. We do have a ZAMP plug here for solar prep. So basically, you can have a panel on the ground here, plug it in the side, and it's going to charge your battery for you. It's just a pretty rudimentary looking plug. A lot of solar panels are going to fit in here, but some won't. If it doesn't fit, you can always get an adapter or something like that. Maybe they have an adapter from your solar panel to this side. Great. Okay, we're going to look at the awning now, but to do so I got to close the slide. Alright guys, we're going to operate this awning here. Basically there's a switch by the door, we'll show you inside. But I'm just going to push extend. Out she comes, nice and easy. Those LED lights there, you can shut those off as well. They're on a switch here as well. Basically this comes out about 8 feet. You go until the valance, which is just a 6-inch piece of fabric, is hanging down at 90 degrees. Like so. A little too far. There, that's perfect. So right when that's hanging down at 90 degrees, that's how far the awning goes out. Now, this is just it, right? It's just out. Now, what you can do is you can adjust the pitch of the awning, and you do that by grabbing that handle there. Okay, and that's going to pitch the awning this way for you. When you go to bring the awning back in, though, you just push it up like so. All right. This awning is meant for light rain, no wind. It's not meant for wind at all. So if it's windy, you bring your awning up, and if it's really, really raining hard, you also bring your awning up. These are not meant for windy situations or really rainy situations. If it comes apart or flies off the trailer because of a windstorm, or it bends because of a rainstorm, that's not a warranty thing. So put your awning away if it's really rainy or if it's windy at all. Great. Let's do the inside, guys. Hey guys, so we're gonna do some inside stuff for that orientation on this open range. I always like to start with safety stuff. So the first safety thing here is our fire extinguisher. That's to extinguish fires. We have a smoke alarm up here near the roof, or on the roof here. This is on a 9-volt battery, not plumbed into the trailer at all, it's just on a 9-volt battery. So if that 9-volt battery gets low, it's going to start beeping once every 30 seconds or so, okay? So that's just all by itself. You have a propane detector down near the bottom here, right here. That's a propane and carbon monoxide detector. That's plumbed into the unit. So if the battery on the front of the trailer gets low, that's going to start beeping once every 30 seconds. That's also pretty sensitive to different chemicals, so if you are cleaning with some different things in here, it can sometimes set that cleaner off as well. Down below here right beside the propane detector, We have our fuses on the right and our breakers on the left. Those are labeled nicely, okay? If a breaker's blown, that's what that looks like, okay? If a fuse is blown, there's a red light beside that fuse that will light up, letting you know the fuse is blown. Alright. We also have a fan running here, keeping that converter cold, or cool, I guess, so it doesn't run too hot. So that's a fairly standard thing you're going to see or hear. Alright, for the gas appliances, we have a 3-burner stovetop. You always want to light this first before you try to light anything else. To do that, I just turn the burner to light. I can hear it coming through now, and I just spark the burner. Nice and easy, okay? Then once you've lit the stovetop, you can feel free to light your furnace, your water heater, your fridge, because you have gas at the appliances. To light the oven, it's a little more difficult. Basically, you just turn this to the flame button, and you're going to hold it in. As you hold it in, you're going to spark it. Okay. Sometimes this takes 2 or 3 minutes, okay? I did this ahead of time so we wouldn't be here waiting. But the pilot is lit. Now that pilot is lit, I leave this button in for about 30 seconds. That pilot's then heating up the thermocouple. Once that's up the temperature, I let it go, and then I can turn it to whatever temperature I want. Okay, see how the main burner comes on now? Nice. Alright, so that's that. Let's have a look here at the fridge. This is a gas electric Dometic fridge. The new Dometic ones, a lot of them have temperature control, so you can dial these 1 through 5. That's pretty straightforward. But for the actual operation of the fridge, the first thing you do is you turn it on. Okay, push the button in. Notice the auto light. The light right here, right beside auto, is lit up. That means it's automatically going to flip over to hydro because I'm plugged in. And that's this light right here. There's a light right beside AC, or alternating current power. If I were to go outside and unplug the trailer, it would automatically flip over to gas. That's what that means by auto. Okay? Now, if for some reason you want to take it off of auto and just force it to go to gas, even though you're on hydro, you can do that. You just push this button, and it's going to force it to gas. I can't think of a reason why you do that, but you have the option. Leave it on auto. That's what most customers do, and then it'll run on hydro if it's there. Otherwise, it'll flip over to gas. Okay? Shouldn't be much here to talk about in the bedroom. There is a spot up there for a TV mount. On the topic of TV mounts, I would not just put a bracket up there and screw it into the wall. I would do a little test drill with like a 1/4-inch drill bit, or not quarter, it's like an 1/8-inch drill bit, just to kind of run that in, make sure there's actually plywood in behind there to screw the TV mount to. If you run just a screw in there, it's going to give you like a rough kind of finish to it. It's going to be hard to finish that off. So I would just do a little test drill bit hole there. Alright. Here's our main TV. We talked about this on the outside, but you have a cable inlet. Okay, so that's going to come into the trailer and spit out here on TV 1. Okay? If I push that switch in, there's a red light. That's going to boost the TV antenna. So if you're using the TV antenna, you turn that on. If you're not using the TV antenna, you leave that off. This upper one here is specifically for satellite. So if you have a satellite outside the trailer running in, you can hook up to here. So you go from here to your receiver, from your receiver to the TV. Okay, that's how that would work. Nice and simple. Here's our sound bar. I'll let you play around with that. You can bring music in by using the auxiliary or the USB cord. I believe it's Bluetooth as well. And you do have inside-outside speakers, A and B selection. Come around the side here, we have some more switches and stuff. So this is the switch I was pointing or pushing right here to bring in or out the awning, extend or retract. This is the switch for the slide out. Some will have more than one slide out. If it's a rack and pinion slide out, which is what we have on this one, it's going to make that clutching noise when it goes all the way out. It's going to make that same noise when it comes all the way in. So that clutching noise is normal, it's natural, it sounds kind of funny, but that lets you know the slide's all the way in or all the way out. You have inside light switches or outside light switches. Then you have your gas water heater. So you don't light this water heater by hand, you just flip the switch on. Basically, it's going to try to light 3 times by itself. If on the 3rd time it doesn't light, your DSI fault light will come on. So that means the water heater has not lit. If that happens, you're going to turn this back off, turn it back on, try that a few times. Sometimes the gas just isn't there yet. Sometimes there's a little spider web in there or something like that and it doesn't want to light. So you can try that a few times. After that, you just call a technician and we'll figure it out with you. Right here's your water pump button. So if you don't have water at the site, you filled your freshwater tank. So you have water in the freshwater tank. You're going to turn this water pump button on. It's going to pump water from the tank to your taps, your toilet, your shower. Like I said, if you have water at the site, you just, whatever pressure you have on the site there is pressure you're going to have on the taps. Has nothing to do with the water pump. The water pump's only if you don't have water at the site. Alright. Oh yes, we have our monitor panel, so you can check the levels of your tanks, see how full your fresh water is, see how full your black water is. The battery's going to read full because we're plugged in. The galley and the gray are your two gray water tanks. The black water though is unreliable. It will read like 2/3 full even though the tank is empty. Alright, that's a very common problem in the RV industry, and that's just because there's debris on the sensor and it's reading 2/3 full but the tank's empty. So don't trust your black water, but you can trust all of your other tank readings. Let's turn into the washroom here. That's the GFI plug I was telling you about. So if your outside receptacle is not working, it's because this GFI is kicked. You have your toilet here. The key with the toilet is that you leave water in the toilet bowl. If you don't leave water in the toilet bowl, the bathroom's going to stink because there's nothing keeping the odor down. So you always leave a couple inches in there. That keeps the odor in the tank there. You have a shower head on this one, of course. There is a shut-off on here. So a lot of times if you're trying to conserve water, what you can do is you can have the water at the temperature you want, rinse up, shut off the water, lather up, and then turn it back on to rinse off the soap, I guess. There, you don't need me to tell you how to shower. Sorry, guys. Thermostat. Okay. So this is pretty simple. It's a digital thermostat. Basically, there's 4 modes. There's off, AC, fan, or furnace. The fan is referring to the fan on the AC. So we're just going to push the mode button here. It lights up. There's a little bit of an off. It says off there. And we're going to push mode. And we're referring to the fan here because it has a little fan thing, a little fan icon. And I can adjust the fan on the AC to high, low, or auto. I'm going to leave on auto right now, which means it's going to come on automatically when the AC comes on. But if you just want the fan to come on by itself, no AC, you can just turn it on high or low. I'm going to leave it on auto. Push the mode button again. I go to cool. That's the snowflake button. I think I'm above 55 degrees in here. It is still chilly. But if I'm above 55 degrees in here, the AC is going to come on. Okay, I'm not. So, anyways, but you can adjust the temperature from there. Okay, up to 62, whatever you want to adjust that to. Push the mode button again. I go to furnace. I am below 90 degrees in here, I guarantee it. So the furnace here is going to kick on. There it is. The fan will run for a few seconds, and then you'll hear the combustion, like the little bit of a roar of a flame, and then we're going to have heat. Now, when I go to, and I can, of course, adjust the temperature down to 80 degrees or wherever you want it at. When I go to shut this off, I go to off, the flame will go out, so they're no longer heating the trailer, but the furnace, the fan will continue to run just to blow any excess heat or any propane that leaked in or whatever. So that's the thermostat there. One thing I didn't talk about on the outside is maintenance, okay? So you have to be up on your roof checking your seals every 90 days religiously. There's seals around the outside of the fence, around the corners. I'm going to do a roof maintenance video later, so you can look at that. But you have to be up there checking your seals religiously. If you don't, you're going to have a leak down the road. The other thing is to maintain is you can grease different pivot points. So you can grease your door locks, your man door, your stairs, your stabilizer jacks, and just keep those running free. If that's just going to help them run nice and smooth. The stairs won't get stiff. The door locks will work nice and easy for you. And then the other thing you can do is check the seals down the side of the trailer. Just visually inspect them every once in a while. They're less important than the roof ones, but they still need to be checked, and if there's a void in a seal there, you have to get that fixed. I hope you guys enjoyed that orientation. I know it was a little boring. I wasn't as excited as I am for a sales video, but I hope it was useful for you. If you liked the video, push the like button. If you want to subscribe, please do so. Our email is sales@layzeeacres.com, or our phone number is 705-833-2539. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.